All right, let's wrap up the race to the office. Our three contenders, Heidi, Jokos, and Nobesuthu Hejana, Dasen Thathiah. Heidi's already comfortable in the office, I'm sure, about to go to her next story. Early on, we spoke to Nobesuthu, who was still walking to the office. So we'll wrap it up with the two of you. Nobesuthu, how far are you? Have you arrived? Have you settled? Have you caught your breath? Are you okay?
Definitely. I mean, we've made it home. After, I think we took about an hour and a half on the road, traveling from Stellenbosch to town. We did experience a bit of a hiccup on the road where we experienced about, I think it was about 14 to 13 minutes of delay. And, well, according to the passengers on that taxi, they were saying that this morning's traffic was not as bad as they anticipated, because it usually gets hectic, and they would normally travel from Stellenbosch to town for like about 2 hours on the road. So at least this morning it was not hectic. But I must say, when we're leaving the office to Stellenbosch, we could see the N2. It was already busy at that time. I think it was around about past 5 in the morning, and there were vehicles, there were taxis. It was already jam-packed. But when we arrived in Stellenbosch, we could see a number of taxis waiting for the passengers. And when we arrived there, unfortunately, the taxi that was there, it had already had passengers. It was full, so we had to wait for a second one, where at least through our negotiations and arrangements, we asked them that if we can take a taxi that has about half of the passengers, and then we had to pay the rest. Then they approved that, so we're able to start our race. We got to town just before 7:30, and then we made our walk to the office. Obviously it was hectic. I mean, we were trying to rush so that we beat Dasen to claim the second position, and we did that. I will say that.
Yes, claim it, girl. It's all yours. You were the second runner-up. If Dasen disagrees with that, then he can just speak to the underground group or whoever it is that he has to consult. Dasen, just in wrapping up, how was your commute?
Well, you know, that is open to dispute about the winners. You know, I'm already comfortable knowing where I stand, so that's okay. That's our office, the entrance to our office just behind us now. We got here probably a few minutes ago, you know, just before Nobesuthu, in fact, and that was after that last walk that we did when we got off the bus. So the entire trip, we left the bus depot at about 5 o'clock in Lamontville. We got to the vicinity of the office, so in Umhlanga, at about 7 o'clock. That trip, I'm told, costs about 34 Rand for people that want to make that journey. You go from Lamontville, there are a few stops in there, you stop in the Durban CBD, and then you get to Umhlanga. So it won't always be that, well, quick that you'll be here at 7 o'clock. There could be delays depending on what traffic is like and what the roads are like. So these are the realities that commuters must face when they do take public transport. But we were fortunate today because we got here in time. And then when you get to the finishing point or the end of your journey, then you determine where you're going and how you're getting there. It could mean another taxi, it could mean taking a walk, and that's exactly what we did. So all in all, I think it was actually a great experience, apart from becoming the first runner-up, that is. Besides all of that, it really gave us a sense of what it is like and what these challenges are like. And I stress this point, it could be a lot worse depending on what is going on that particular morning. Load shedding and water issues and traffic and all of those things considered.
And did you miss your car at any point, or did you, like Nobesuthu was saying, sometimes it's good to be driven comfortably so, and so that you can appreciate the nature and the environment around you, because as a driver you often focus on the road, the steering wheel, other drivers as well. Were you a little bit more relaxed in your commute? I'll start with you, Nobesuthu.
Certainly. I mean, on the road, one might expect to be driving under, you know, like rush hour and taxis are fast. But I must say, our driver this morning, he kept on the speed limits of the road and everything went smooth. We did see a number of traffic officials on the road, obviously to monitor the traffic and also to look out for those who are misbehaving on the road. But it was a perfect and nice ride. I mean, sitting there and just watching everyone driving to the office, trying to get there on time. I mean, we were on the race, but it was a nice ride. So I must say, I'm not complaining about this morning's ride, but I must say, though, I had to wake up around 3 a.m. to ensure that we at least get to Stellenbosch on time to start our race.
All right, thank you so much, Nobesuthu Hejana, and have yourself a lovely day. We'll wrap it up with you, Dasen. Maybe sometimes we take a lot for granted, especially the convenience of having a private vehicle. It's even better when it's paid up. You only have to worry about maintenance and fuel, etc. But you have that option as well. What lesson did you learn using a taxi or a bus to commute to work today?
Well, I think the main lesson is that I was pleasantly surprised. I'm not saying that everyone's experience is going to be the same, but I think we have a perception that public transport is unreliable and you might be delayed, and those things do happen. So I think to answer your question, you actually trade the types of pressure that you face. When you're in a car, you're also dealing with the issues of traffic, and there could be accidents, and whether you can be involved in an accident and you'll be liable for that, and there are all of those issues to deal with. But then when you're in a bus and you're using public transport, yes, it's good to be driven, but you also now have to face, for example, your employer. What if you're late? What if there are delays? You have to explain those things. Those are some of the concerns that came up. So it really is, at the end of the day, you're always under pressure. We work in a deadline-driven industry. I think we can relate to what those commuters were feeling in the bus, worried about whether they would get there on time. But certainly a good experience, and definitely one that I would want to do again, just for a change in scenery.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll have the opportunity. I know there's a transport month, or using public transport month around October, but thank you very much. I think looking at it, for us, it was an adrenaline rush. Obviously, we're at the edge of our seats, wanting to see who's going to make it first at the finish line, and how involved you immersed yourself in the experience and even shared with fellow commuters who have to live this on a day-to-day basis. You did this with grace, with humility, and a bit of fun here and there as well. I love the competitive edge. So congratulations, and thank you so much for participating. We'll chat again soon. Thank you.